Have you ever heard the term fasting and immediately thought, oh great, another one of those miserable weight loss fads? I used to think that way too. We're constantly bombarded with images of harsh diets and promises of a tiny waist after just a few days of starvation. But what if I told you that fasting, when done correctly, isn't just the key to shedding a few extra pounds, but a genuine revolution for your health? Could it help you rejuvenate from the cellular level, heal hidden damage, and even upgrade your brain performance? Would you believe it? Today, we will unpack these incredible secrets through the lens of a book that's making waves in the health and self-optimization community. Fast This Way by Dave Asprey. Dave Asprey is no stranger to many of you. He's a successful former Silicon Valley tech entrepreneur who spent millions of dollars over 2 decades hacking his own biology to find the most optimal methods for enhancing physical and mental health. He's the legendary creator of Bulletproof Coffee and the author of multiple New York Times bestsellers like The Bulletproof Diet and Headstrong. And with Fast This Way, Dave Asprey offers a deep, scientific yet efficient look at the power of fasting. This book doesn't just stop at why you should fast. More importantly, it shows how to turn fasting into a powerful tool easily integrated into our busy modern lives without enduring constant hunger or exhaustion. This isn't your typical diet book, my friends. This is a roadmap to mastering your own body and your life. So, are you ready to completely change how you think about health and your potential? Pour yourself a warm cup of tea, or maybe a bulletproof coffee if you're curious. Get comfortable, and let's dive into the invaluable lessons from Fast This Way together on BookSmart Insights. First, we must dismantle one of the most significant psychological barriers to fasting: the fear of hunger. Since we were kids, we've been taught that skipping meals is bad and harmful to our health. That rumbling in our stomach often comes with irritability, crankiness, and the feeling that we're somehow torturing ourselves. But Dave Asprey points out a fascinating truth. True biological hunger and psychological cravings or appetite are 2 completely different things. Have you ever felt hungry just a few hours after a big meal? Or did you suddenly crave something sweet when feeling stressed or bored? Chances are, that wasn't your body signaling a genuine need for energy. It was more likely a psychological response, a conditioned habit, or even a subtle manipulation by the food industry. Think about it. Those processed snacks with their eye-catching packaging and persuasive ads are engineered to trigger the reward centers in our brains, offering instant gratification. They trick us into thinking they'll satisfy that craving or feeling of emptiness. But in reality, they often provide empty calories, spike our blood sugar, and cause it to crash, leaving us even more tired and craving. As author Michael Pollan famously said, "Don't eat anything your great-grandmother wouldn't recognize as food." It's a stark reminder of how prevalent fake food is, food that deceives our taste buds and sense of fullness. So fasting, in this context, isn't about blindly starving yourself. It's a conscious act of pausing, of listening to what your body truly wants and needs. It's an opportunity to step off the relentless treadmill of consumption, not just food, but information, social media, and other instant pleasures. Dave Asprey calls this learning to let go, cultivating the strength from saying no. When you decide not to eat immediately just because you feel a slight pang, not to grab your phone to scroll Instagram for the 10th time in an hour, not to turn on the TV for some mindless show just to kill time, you're practicing a potent form of self-discipline. There's a relevant concept mentioned in the book related to this: dopamine fasting, popularized by Dr. Cameron Seppa from the University of California, San Francisco. This doesn't mean eliminating dopamine entirely, which is impossible and dangerous, but instead temporarily reducing exposure to easily accessible, high-reward stimuli, like social media, games, sugary foods, online shopping. The goal is to allow your brain to reset, become more sensitive to simpler, sustainable joys, and help you regain deep focus. You see, intentionally pausing your food intake works similarly. It helps you realize, do I really need that pastry, or am I just bored? Is this 5th cup of coffee today because I need to be alert, or is it just a habit? Am I using food or social media to avoid a certain feeling? In this way, fasting becomes a tool for better understanding your actual needs and learning to master them. It's not punishment, it's empowerment. Another interesting example Dave Asprey gives is controlled breath holding. Sounds strange, but free divers, martial artists, and yogis with pranayama techniques all practice this. They train in temporarily oxygen-deprived states to increase lung capacity, improve the body's oxygen utilization, and cultivate calm under pressure. Obviously, it's initially uncomfortable, but the long-term benefits are immense. Fasting is similar. The key message here is that fasting doesn't have to equal suffering. There might be some initial discomfort as your body and mind adjust, but with the right mindset, viewing it as a challenge, an opportunity for self-mastery, a way to listen deeply to your body, you can find joy and empowerment in the process. As the philosopher Epictetus said, "No great thing is created suddenly. Persistence and intentional practice are key." So, are you starting to see the words fasting a little differently now? Not quite as scary as you thought, right? Okay, the theory sounds great, but where do you actually begin? Do you stop eating for a whole day right off the bat? This is where intermittent fasting comes in. After over a decade of personal practice and research, Dave Asprey firmly believes this is the easiest and most effective way to get acquainted with fasting, especially for beginners. Intermittent fasting isn't primarily about what you eat, though that's also very important, as we'll discuss later, but when you eat. There are many intermittent fasting methods, but one of the most popular and easiest to implement is the 16-8 method. The 16-8 model is straightforward. You have an 8-hour eating window during the day, and for the remaining 16 consecutive hours, including sleep time, you fast, only drinking water, unsweetened tea, or black coffee without sugar. For example, you could eat between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m., or 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. This window is flexible. You can adjust it to fit your work schedule and lifestyle. That's a massive plus of 16-8. It doesn't require drastic changes to your habits or complicated meal prep. But does fasting for 16 hours actually do anything, you might wonder? The answer is yes, and the benefits go far beyond your imagination. 1. Insulin regulation. Unlocking your fat stores. Insulin is a crucial hormone. Its main job is to help transport glucose, sugar, from your bloodstream into your cells for energy. When we eat, especially refined carbohydrates and sugars, insulin is released. However, in modern society, we often overeat too frequently, forcing insulin to work overtime. Over time, our cells can become numb to insulin signals, a state called insulin resistance. This makes it harder for sugar to enter the cells, leading to high blood sugar, and the body tends to store excess energy as, you guessed it, fat. Insulin resistance is a precursor to many serious health problems, including type 2 diabetes. When you practice intermittent fasting, you give your body a precious break. During those 16 fasting hours, your insulin levels drop significantly. This allows your body to increase insulin sensitivity. Your cells start listening to insulin signals better. Switch to fat burning. When there's no new glucose coming in and insulin is low, your body is forced to tap into its stored energy reserves, your fat cells. This is why intermittent fasting is so effective for fat loss, especially stubborn belly fat. 2. Activating autophagy, the cellular self-cleaning mechanism. This is one of the most incredible and well-researched benefits of fasting. Autophagy, pronounced autophagy, comes from Greek words meaning self-eating. It sounds gruesome, but it's a highly intelligent cleanup and recycling process within your body. Imagine your cells are like houses. Over time, parts inside the house, proteins, organelles, get old, damaged, or accumulate waste. Autophagy is the professional cleaning and repair crew. It gathers these faulty components, damaged proteins, misfolded proteins, and even invading viruses and bacteria, puts them in a garbage bag, lysosome to be broken down, and recycles the raw materials into new, healthy components. This process is critically important for slowing aging. Autophagy helps maintain cellular youthfulness and optimal function by removing old, damaged cells. With reduced wrinkles, your skin might become more precise and smoother as new, healthy skin cells are regenerated. Preventing disease. Autophagy helps clear out abnormal proteins that can accumulate and cause neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. It also plays a role in cancer control by removing precancerous or damaged cells. Boosting the immune system. It helps clear pathogens and optimize the function of immune cells. And the amazing part? Fasting is one of the most potent ways to switch on autophagy. When your body isn't busy digesting food, it has the spare time to flip the switch for this essential cleanup process. The research by Japanese scientist Yoshinori Osumi on the mechanisms of autophagy earned him the Nobel Prize in Medicine in 2016, highlighting the significance of this process. 3. Reducing inflammation, putting out the silent fire within. Do you know that swelling, heat, redness, and pain occur when you get an insect bite or an injury? That's acute inflammation, a natural protective response. However, there's another much more insidious type of inflammation, chronic inflammation. This is a low-grade, persistent inflammation simmering throughout your body, often without apparent symptoms initially. The main culprits are usually an unhealthy lifestyle, a diet high in processed foods, sugar, and bad fats, chronic stress, lack of sleep, and sedentary behavior. Imagine your body is a house with a smoldering fire in the basement. You don't see obvious smoke or flames, but it's slowly damaging the structure from within. Chronic inflammation is like that. It's considered the root cause of most modern diseases: cardiovascular disease, diabetes, cancer, Alzheimer's, autoimmune conditions, asthma, and even premature aging. When your body is constantly fighting at a molecular level, you feel tired, lack energy, and experience vague aches and pains. The good news is, intermittent fasting has been shown to effectively reduce markers of inflammation in the body. By reducing the digestive load, regulating insulin, and promoting autophagy, intermittent fasting helps extinguish this silent fire, protecting your body from the onslaught of disease. So what about bulletproof coffee? Hearing all this, you might be excited about the benefits of intermittent fasting, but perhaps still hesitant about morning hunger pangs or feeling drained before starting your day. This is where Dave Asprey's secret weapon comes in: bulletproof coffee. The basic recipe combines high-quality black coffee, a spoonful of grass-fed ghee, clarified butter, and a spoonful of MCT, medium-chain triglycerides oil, specifically C8, often derived from coconut or palm kernel oil. Why this specific combination? Coffee provides alertness, boosts metabolism, and may stimulate mild autophagy. Grass-fed ghee offers healthy fats, fat-soluble vitamins, and butyric acid, good for the gut. Fat promotes satiety. MCT oil, C8. This is the star player. MCTs are medium-chain fats that your body converts into ketones quickly and efficiently. Ketones are an incredibly clean and efficient fuel source for your brain and body, especially when glucose isn't readily available. Drinking bulletproof coffee in the morning can help you feel full and energized. The fats and ketones provide sustained energy without the blood sugar roller coaster caused by carbs. Maintain a fasted state metabolically. Because it contains negligible carbs or protein, bulletproof coffee doesn't significantly raise insulin, allowing you to extend your fat-burning window and reap the benefits of autophagy. Enhance focus and mental clarity. The brain loves ketones. Important note, bulletproof coffee isn't a magic bullet and isn't for everyone. Some people might experience initial stomach discomfort with MCT oil. It's crucial to start with a small amount and listen to your body. It's a supportive tool, not a requirement for doing intermittent fasting. In summary, intermittent fasting 16-8, potentially combined with bulletproof coffee, is an excellent starting point to experience the profound health benefits of giving your body a rest and allowing it to heal itself. It's flexible, easy to implement, and surprisingly effective. Once you've become accustomed to and comfortable with intermittent fasting 16-8, you might start curious about other forms of fasting, perhaps involving more extended fasting periods. One method that gets a lot of attention is OMAD, 1 meal a day. Sounds pretty extreme, right? Fasting for about 23 hours and eating within just a 1-hour window. OMAD can offer certain benefits, like potentially driving more profound ketosis, burning fat for ketone energy, and saving time on meal prep. And it's true, some people practice OMAD and feel great. However, Dave Asprey offers a crucial warning based on research and personal experience. Rigidly adhering to a long fasting schedule like OMAD every single day long-term might not be optimal and can even lead to undesirable side effects. Why is that? The human body is designed to adapt. If you constantly put it in the same state of perceived scarcity, fasting 23 hours daily, it might start to think a real famine is occurring. Is it a natural response? Slow down metabolism to conserve energy. Impact hormones, sex hormones, testosterone in men, estrogen, progesterone in women can decrease as the body prioritizes survival over reproduction. This can lead to issues with libido, menstrual cycles, and energy levels. Decreased sleep quality. The body might produce more stress hormones, cortisol, hair loss, dry skin, due to nutrient deficiencies or hormonal shifts. This is where the concept of non-fixed fasting or variable fasting that Dave Asprey advocates becomes incredibly valuable. Instead of forcing your body into the same mold day after day, the idea is to introduce intentional variation and unpredictability. What's the idea? Challenge your body by regularly changing your fasting duration and eating windows. It's like cross-training in sports, varying your exercises to work different muscle groups and prevent your body from hitting a plateau with just one type of stimulus. What might a sample schedule look like? This is just a suggestion. You need to tailor it to yourself. Monday, start the week with a breakfast rich in protein and healthy fats. No fasting or a short 12 to 14-hour fast. Tuesday and Wednesday, implement intermittent fasting 16-8 or 18-6. Thursday, challenge yourself with OMAD. Eat one large nutrient-dense meal midday or evening. Friday, return to a gentler intermittent fasting 16-8. Saturday and Sunday, loosen up a bit. Eat more freely, still prioritizing healthy foods. Or do a simple 12-hour overnight fast. Benefits of variable fasting. Keeps your metabolism sharp, prevents the body from going into hibernation mode due to adapting to prolonged energy restriction, avoids the adverse side effects of excessive fasting, especially regarding hormones and sleep, prevents extreme cravings. Knowing you have more flexible eating days reduces feelings of deprivation, making it more sustainable long-term. Enhances the body's adaptability. The world we live in is dynamic. Training your body to adapt to different eating schedules also helps it become more resilient and flexible in facing other life changes. Necessary. When you end your fast, whether it's 16 or 23 hours, your first meal, your breakfast, is crucial. Focus on whole, nutrient-dense foods, quality protein, healthy fats, dark leafy greens, and a moderate amount of complex carbohydrates. Steer clear of processed junk, sugar, and refined starches, as they can spike your blood sugar and undo your fasting efforts. So don't treat fasting like a rigid marathon. You must strictly adhere to it daily. Think of it as a dance, where you learn to listen to your body's rhythm, know when to speed up and slow down, and enjoy its flexibility. As Bruce Lee famously said, "Be like water making its way through cracks. Do not be assertive, but adjust to the object, and you shall find a way around or through it." Be water, my friend. Apply this philosophy to your fasting practice. Here's a somewhat ironic truth. Most of us are willing to cut back on a few hours of sleep to get more work done, watch one more episode, or scroll through social media. Yet we're terrified of skipping a meal. Meanwhile, science has made it crystal clear. Chronic sleep deprivation is far more dangerous than controlled fasting for a few days. Did you know that getting enough quality sleep, typically 6.5 to 8 hours per night, depending on the individual, does more than make you feel refreshed and alert the next day? Quality sleep is the foundation for countless recovery and protective processes. Reduces disease risk. Adequate sleep helps lower the risk of serious illnesses like cancer, heart attack, stroke, diabetes, and obesity. Cellular repair. While you sleep, your body ramps up the production of proteins that repair cell damage caused by stress, UV rays, and other factors. Lowers inflammation. Sleep helps regulate inflammatory cytokines. Sleep loss increases inflammation throughout the body. Brain detoxification. The glymphatic system, the brain's waste clearance system, is most active during deep sleep, flushing out toxic proteins like amyloid beta, linked to Alzheimer's, that accumulate during the day. Hormone balance. Sleep regulates crucial hormones controlling appetite, ghrelin and leptin, stress, cortisol, and growth. And here's the fascinating connection to our topic. Sleep and fasting are a perfect pair, supporting each other. Sleep time counts as fasting time. If you're doing a 16-hour fast, about 7 to 8 hours of that is while you're asleep. This makes fasting much more manageable. Fasting after waking boosts HGH. If you continue your fast for a few hours after waking up, e.g., skipping breakfast and having lunch as your first meal, your body increases human growth hormone, HGH, production. HGH is vital for burning fat and maintaining muscle mass. This is a fantastic benefit for those looking to improve body composition. Eating too late sabotages sleep and fasting. This is a widespread mistake. When you eat a large meal right before bed, your body must work hard to digest food, instead of focusing on sleep's critical repair and recovery processes. This disrupts your natural circadian rhythm. Furthermore, going to bed with high blood sugar and insulin levels can lead to waking up in the middle of the night, poor sleep quality, and feeling groggy and low energy the following day. A vicious cycle. So what's the solution? Dave Asprey and numerous studies, like one from the University of California, San Diego, highlight the importance of creating a gap between your last meal and bedtime. Finish your eating window at least 3 hours before sleep. Example: If you usually go to bed around 11 p.m., aim to finish dinner by 8 p.m. This is a very achievable schedule that offers significant benefits for both your sleep and the effectiveness of your fast. Additionally, to optimize sleep and support your circadian rhythm, try to reduce exposure to artificial blue light in the evening. Light from phones, computers, and TVs suppresses melatonin production, the sleep hormone. Dim the lights in your house. Use blue light filters on your devices, and ideally, stop using screens at least 1 to 2 hours before bed. Instead, read a physical book, listen to calming music, chat with loved ones, or engage in other relaxing activities. As Arianna Huffington, founder of HuffPost and a strong advocate for sleep, puts it, we are in the midst of a sleep deprivation crisis. Treat sleep like the performance tool it is. Create a relaxing bedtime routine, a warm bath, gentle stretching, journaling. Keep your bedroom dark, calm, and quiet. An important reminder, when you start fasting, especially if you change your eating schedule significantly, your sleep might be slightly disrupted for the first few days. This is normal. Your body needs time to adjust. Don't be too hard on yourself. Be patient. Continue practicing good sleep hygiene tips, and things will likely stabilize. Sometimes, those difficult nights after a late dinner serve as the clearest reminder of why eating earlier is beneficial. Remember, sleep isn't laziness. It's an essential biological function. Prioritizing sleep means investing in your health, productivity, and the effectiveness of your fasting efforts. We've seen that fasting isn't just about pausing food intake, confronting psychological fears, building willpower, and strengthening mental fortitude. Your body gradually learns to follow your lead, rather than being controlled by fleeting cravings. And this makes you much stronger. Now, let's step into an area many people are still skeptical about: exercising while fasting. You might be thinking, oh no, how can I hit the gym, run, or do anything strenuous on an empty stomach? I'll definitely collapse from exhaustion or dizziness, especially if you're used to downing sugary sports drinks or loading up on carbs before every workout to get energy. This mindset stems from our body's reliance on glucose, sugar, as the primary, quick, and easy fuel source. When you're heavily reliant on glucose, its absence, like during a fast, can lead to fatigue, shakiness, and difficulty concentrating. Classic signs of low blood sugar. This is also why many people struggle with sustainable weight loss, as their bodies haven't been trained to efficiently tap into their vast alternative energy source, stored body fat. But here's the exciting news. By practicing intermittent and variable fasting, as we've discussed, you are gradually training your body to master energy at the metabolic level. You're teaching it to become metabolically flexible. What does metabolic flexibility mean? Your body can efficiently switch between using glucose from the carbs you eat and ketones, stored body fat or dietary fat, for fuel, depending on availability and energy demands. Someone with good metabolic flexibility is like a hybrid car that can seamlessly run on gasoline and electricity. Conversely, someone with poor metabolic flexibility is like a car that only runs on gasoline and sputters to a halt when the tank is empty, even if the battery is fully charged. Why is this flexibility so important, especially when combined with exercise? Overcomes the fear of fasted workouts. Once your body becomes efficient at using ketones, you're no longer dependent on constant carb intake before and during exercise. You can perform high-intensity workouts even in a fast state and still feel energized. More effective fat burning. Exercising in a fasted state, when insulin is low, encourages your body to burn stored fat for fuel instead of just burning the sugar you recently consumed. More sustained energy. Ketones provide a more stable and prolonged energy source than glucose, helping you avoid the mid-workout crash. Brain benefits. The brain loves ketones, and exercising while producing them can enhance focus and mental clarity. Improved performance. Many endurance athletes find that training their bodies to utilize fat for fuel significantly improves their stamina and performance in long events. The core message is that metabolic flexibility helps you conquer your workouts even while fasting, turning your body into a more efficient fat-burning machine. How can you enhance metabolic flexibility? Besides practicing intermittent and variable fasting, Dave Asprey suggests another fascinating method: cold therapy, part of contrast therapy. It might sound a bit like self-torture, but exposing your body to cold temperatures for short periods, example, standing under a cold shower for the last few minutes or taking an ice bath if you're brave, offers numerous benefits. Stimulates mitochondria. These are the power plants of your cells. Cold exposure stimulates your body to create more mitochondria and improve their function. Mitochondrial biogenesis. Healthier mitochondria mean a more efficient metabolism. Activates brown fat. Brown fat is the good type of fat that burns calories to generate heat, helping keep you warm and boosting your metabolism. Cold exposure helps activate and increase brown fat. Improves mood. Cold water stimulates the release of endorphins, helping to lift your mood and reduce stress. Boosts immune system. Studies suggest regular cold exposure can increase white blood cell count, reduces pain and inflammation. This is why athletes often take ice baths after competitions. Advice: start slowly. 30 seconds of cold water at the end of your shower, then gradually increase. It will be uncomfortable initially, but the invigorating and energized feeling afterwards might get you hooked. As Wim Hof, the famous Iceman who demonstrated extraordinary cold tolerance, says, "The breath and the cold are the doorways to your inner power." A reminder about goals. When discussing exercise and fasting, it's easy to get caught up in chasing some perfect body image often portrayed on social media or in magazines. But remember, those images often don't reflect sustainable reality. To achieve those ultra-shredded abs shots for movies, actors often undergo extreme fasting and dehydration, and even use diuretics for days. This state cannot and should not be maintained long-term. Instead of obsessing over an unrealistic physique, focus on building a healthy, energetic body that feels good from the inside out. Treat your body well with wholesome food. Exercise regularly for the joy of movement. Get quality sleep and practice fasting intelligently. Proper health isn't just about appearance. It's about how you feel daily. Fasting offers immense benefits, but there's a crucial truth we cannot ignore. Fasting is not a one-size-fits-all solution, especially for women. A significant amount of research on fasting, as well as other dietary approaches, has historically been conducted primarily on men or male animals. There are distinct physiological differences, particularly concerning the endocrine hormone system and reproductive capabilities, leave a considerable knowledge gap regarding how women's bodies respond to fasting. Why do women need a more nuanced approach? The female body is exquisitely sensitive to signals of energy availability and stress levels. The amygdala, the part of the brain controlling emotions and the fight or flight response, is constantly vigilant for signs that the environment is becoming harsh or resources are scarce. Suppose the amygdala perceives prolonged fasting as a potential threat to reproductive capability, even if you're not planning pregnancy. In that case, it can trigger a significant stress response. This response involves downregulating the production of key sex hormones like estrogen and progesterone, and increasing cortisol, the stress hormone. The body's goal becomes energy conservation, prioritizing immediate survival over non-essential functions like reproduction. The potential consequences of excessive or inappropriate fasting in women can include menstrual irregularities, irregular cycles, loss of period, amenorrhea, thyroid issues. Extreme fasting can slow down thyroid function, insomnia and anxiety due to elevated cortisol levels, hair loss, dry skin, signs of hormonal imbalance or nutrient deficiencies, decreased libido, fertility issues, difficulty conceiving or temporary infertility, persistent fatigue and burnout. Dave Asprey emphasizes that he has heard from many women who experience these issues when they tried to adopt fasting regimens designed for men or push themselves. So, what's a smart fasting strategy for women? The main message is be gentle, slow, and listen to your body. 1. Start slowly. Instead of jumping into 16-8, start with shorter fasting windows, like 12 to 14 hours, meaning an eating window of 10 to 12 hours. Often, this means eating dinner a bit earlier and not snacking afterwards until breakfast the next day. See how your body responds for a few weeks before considering longer fasts. 2. Don't fast aggressively too many days. Avoid doing OMAD or very long fasts, over 18 hours, multiple days in a row. Alternate fasting days with more normal eating aligned with your natural rhythm. 3. Heed your body's signals. If you start experiencing extreme fatigue, dizziness, insomnia, mood swings, or unusual changes in your menstrual cycle, these are signs your body is under too much stress. Step back, shorten your fasting window, or stop fasting altogether for a few days to allow your body to recover. Consider cycle syncing. This is a concept that is gaining traction. A woman's hormones fluctuate significantly throughout her menstrual cycle. During the second half of the cycle, the luteal phase, after ovulation until the next period, the body is more sensitive to stress and requires more energy. During this phase, reduce the intensity and duration of your fasts, focusing on adequate nutrition. Conversely, the first half, the follicular phase, is often when the body tolerates fasting better. Prioritize nutrition during your eating window. When you do eat, ensure you're getting enough quality protein, healthy fats, crucial for hormones, plenty of vegetables, and essential micronutrients. Women should pay particular attention to iron, as deficiency, common due to menstruation, can cause fatigue and worsen negative symptoms. 6. Consider bulletproof coffee if appropriate. As mentioned, the fats in bulletproof coffee can help curb hunger and provide energy, potentially reducing the stress burden on the body during a fast. 7. Manage overall stress. Fasting is a controlled form of good stress, hormesis. But if you're already dealing with high stress from work, life, lack of sleep, etc., adding aggressive fasting stress can make things worse. Prioritize other stress management techniques like meditation, yoga, and walks in nature. 8. Add mineral salts. If you feel tired, headachy, or crave salty foods while fasting, add a pinch of pink Himalayan salt to your water. Fasting can deplete electrolytes. Extremely important warning. Always consult your doctor or a qualified nutritionist before starting any fasting regimen, especially if are you pregnant or planning a pregnancy? Are breastfeeding? Have a history of eating disorders, anorexia, bulimia, are underweight? Have irregular periods or fertility issues? Have chronic conditions like diabetes, heart disease? Never fast if you are pregnant. Women can absolutely benefit immensely from intelligent fasting. The key lies in nuance, listening to your body, adapting flexibly, and never forcing yourself into a mold that doesn't fit. You are unique, and so is your health journey. As Dr. Mindy Pelz, a leading expert on fasting for women, often says, women are not little men. Respect that difference. When you embark on your fasting journey, the first changes you notice are often physical. The number on the scale might drop. your energy levels stabilize. Your skin might look brighter. But the real magic of fasting often lies in the deeper layers beyond the purely physical realm. You'll gain greater awareness of your relationship with food from the early days. You'll notice those unconscious thoughts and patterns of emotional eating when sad, eating when stressed, become much clearer. You realize that the feeling of hunger isn't always an urgent biological need, but sometimes just a sensation. This signal can be observed without immediate action. This is the first step towards self-awareness. But think even further. Many people who practice fasting report that their senses become heightened. The aroma of a simple meal suddenly seems incredibly enticing. The colors on a salad plate look more vibrant and alive. Sounds around you might seem more straightforward. Temporarily pausing one stimulus, food, increases the sensitivity of other sensory channels. Fasting can literally change the way you experience the world around you. This is also why fasting is a cornerstone practice in almost all major religious and spiritual traditions worldwide. From Christianity, Lent, Judaism, Yom Kippur, and Islam, Ramadan, to Buddhism and many others. For adherents, voluntarily abstaining from familiar physical comforts like food is not just an act demonstrating discipline, sacrifice, repentance, or gratitude, but is also considered a means to purify the body and mind, removing physical and mental impurities, enhance focus on prayer and meditation. When not distracted by eating or digestion, the mind can become quieter and more precise. Cultivate compassion, experiencing the lack felt by those less fortunate, even briefly. Open pathways for deeper connection with God, the universe, or one's true nature. As Mahatma Gandhi, who used fasting for non-violent resistance and spiritual practice, said, "True fasting cleanses the body, mind, and soul." Dave Asprey encourages us to view fasting as a form of meditation at the physical level. Instead of solely focusing on not eating, pay attention to what's happening within you. How do physical sensations change? What thoughts are arising? What emotions are surfacing? What do you feel more connected to? Finding joy in discipline. It's crucial to emphasize that while fasting requires discipline, it doesn't have to be a journey of pain or self-flagellation. On the contrary, feelings of comfort, lightness, and contentment play a vital role. Once you move past the initial discomfort, you can experience a profound sense of freedom, a powerful mastery over your body and mind. This is key to the spiritual aspect of fasting. An interesting and somewhat sensitive point Dave Asprey mentions is that during longer fasts, the intensity of sexual orgasm can increase for both men and women, possibly due to hormonal shifts and increased bodily sensitivity. However, he also notes the perspective of ancient Taoist sages who advised men against frequent ejaculation to conserve vital energy or Jing, while encouraging women to experience orgasm freely to circulate energy. It's an interesting aspect to consider, but the most crucial element remains connection and respect within a relationship. Fasting to reduce noise. Ultimately, think of fasting as a way to reduce the biological noise at the cellular level, those false hunger signals, simmering inflammation, and simultaneously quiet the conscious noise in the mind, the incessant chatter, constant worries, judgment. When this noise subsides, you can hear more clearly what truly matters. You better understand what your body genuinely needs and what your mind truly desires. Fasting becomes a practice of self-discipline, learning to let go of the non-essential to recognize the value of what truly nourishes you. Final advice: be kind to yourself. Every journey has its ups and downs. Maybe you planned a 16-hour fast, but an incredibly stressful workday led you to grab a cookie at hour 14. your first reaction might be self-criticism, judgment. I'm so weak. I failed. But Dave Asprey advises you, don't do that. View that moment as a learning opportunity. Perhaps breaking the fast revealed a mental toxin, maybe perfectionism, rigidity, or the tendency to use food to cope with stress. Instead of beating yourself up, acknowledge it, mindfully enjoy that cookie, and then gently get back on track the next day. Fasting isn't a pass-fail test. It's an ongoing practice, a chance to understand yourself better, become more attuned to your body, and appreciate each moment. Expanding the concept, fasting from hatred. Dave Asprey even suggests a brilliant idea. Apply the principle of fasting to other areas of life. For example, fasting from hatred. Try spending one day without entertaining negative, judgmental, or hateful thoughts towards anyone or anything. It sounds simple, but practicing this can reveal how much negativity you encounter daily, from the news, social media, or your internal monologue. If a hateful or judgmental thought arises, gently acknowledge it and try to consciously replace it with a positive or at least neutral thought about that person or situation. This is a fantastic way to cleanse your mind, cultivate compassion and empathy, and build a more peaceful inner life. Fasting, understood in this broader sense, helps your body thrive and brings serenity and clarity to your soul. So we've journeyed together through the core, fascinating insights from Dave Asprey's Fast This Way. Hopefully, through today's sharing here on BookSmart Insights, you now have a completely fresh and deeper perspective on fasting. It's no longer just a scary concept tied to suffering or solely for weight loss. Scientific fasting is actually a powerful tool to understand and master your body, distinguishing true hunger from psychological cravings. Regenerate at the cellular level, activating autophagy, slowing aging, preventing disease, reduce inflammation, extinguishing the silent fire causing many chronic illnesses, regulate hormones, especially insulin, for effective fat burning, boost energy and mental clarity thanks to metabolic flexibility and ketones, improve sleep when combined with timed eating, enhance exercise performance. It even serves as a spiritual journey, helping you connect more deeply with yourself and the world. However, always remember, there's no single formula for everyone. The most crucial thing is to listen to your body, start slowly, adapt flexibly, and pay special attention to the differences if you are a woman. And don't forget to consult a healthcare professional if you have any health concerns. Fast This Way is a valuable resource, offering updated scientific knowledge alongside practical, easy-to-apply guidance. Whether you're entirely new to fasting or already have some experience, you'll find something beneficial in this book. Now, it's over to you. Have you ever tried intermittent fasting or any other form of fasting? What was your experience like? Do you have any questions or want to share on this topic? Please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your stories and perspectives. The BookSmart Insights community is where we learn and grow together. If you find this video helpful and valuable, please don't hesitate to hit the like button to show your support. Most importantly, if you love exploring knowledge from great books to foster holistic personal development, hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell right next to it. That way, you won't miss any future videos from BookSmart Insights. We have so many more amazing books to explore together. Thank you so much for listening and joining me in today's video. I wish you all vibrant health, abundant energy, and success in finding the path that optimizes your well-being and happiness. Goodbye, and see you in the following video.